Do you know what abilities Law has? The main reason I put him in the top 10 is that Law isn't just a powerful pirate. He's a tactician, strategist, doctor, and swordsman, and he also possesses one of the most dangerous devil fruits in One Piece. Law had a very difficult childhood. He became connected to the Don Quixote family and was under Doflamingo's command. The most interesting part is that Law was supposed to die, but later the Ope Ope no Mi changed his fate. His full name is Trafalgar D. Waterlaw, meaning he is a member of the D clan. This makes his story even more interesting. His Ope Ope no Mi allows him to control space within his room. Later, Law awakened his devil fruit, gaining new techniques such as K-Room and R-Room. But Law's most dangerous weapon isn't just his devil fruit, it's his intelligence. He doesn't simply fight his opponents with brute force. He creates strategies and turns the situation to his advantage. During the Wano arc, Law teamed up with Kid to defeat Big Mom, playing a major role in taking down a Yonko-level opponent. He also possesses armament and observation Haki, along with strong swordsmanship and medical knowledge. So the reason I put Law at number 10 isn't because he's weak. Considering his strength, awakening, intelligence, strategy, Ope Ope no Mi, and unique history, I believe Law absolutely deserves a spot in this top 10. Where would you rank Law? Monkey D. Luffy is the captain of the Straw Hat Pirates and one of the 4 emperors of the sea. But Luffy's strength isn't limited to his devil fruit. He has mastered all 3 types of Haki and can use advanced forms of them. One of his greatest achievements is Gear 5, the awakening of his true devil fruit, the Hito Hito no Mi, model Nika. Over the years, Luffy pushed his abilities to an incredible level. Luffy is a member of the D clan, the grandson of Monkey D. Garp, and the son of Monkey D. Dragon. His story is also deeply connected to Joy Boy and the lost history of the world. During the Wano arc, after multiple battles against Kaido, Luffy awakened Gear 5 and eventually defeated him. However, it's important to remember that this was not a completely fresh one-on-one fight, as Kaido had already fought numerous powerful opponents beforehand. Then, on Egghead Island, Luffy directly fought the 5 elders, once again showing just how powerful he has become. Luffy's influence is also extraordinary. He commands the Straw Hat Grand Fleet, which consists of around 5,600 fighters. He has also been involved in major events that affected kingdoms and islands across the world, including Wano Country, Dressrosa, Alabasta, and Amazon Lily. So Luffy isn't just a powerful fighter. He is a Yonko, a captain, a user of all 3 types of Haki, the awakened Nika, and a member of the D clan who stands at the center of the world's biggest events. That's why I believe Monkey D. Luffy deserves the number 9 spot on this ranking. Where would you rank Luffy? Kaido is one of the strongest creatures in the One Piece world. He is far beyond the limits of an ordinary human. One of the best examples is when Kaido jumped from a sky island and survived the fall. His obsession with death was so strong that he wanted to achieve a death that would leave his name in history. Even when Monkey D. Luffy awakened Gear 5, Kaido was still able to fight back and continue the battle. And remember, before his final fight with Luffy, Kaido had already fought numerous powerful opponents, including Yamato, Monkey D. Luffy, Roronoa Zoro, Trafalgar D. Waterlaw, Eustace Kid, and Killer. Kaido also had a very specific goal. He wanted to find someone worthy of defeating him and achieve a legendary death. someone like Joy Boy. Kaido was once a member of the legendary Rocks Pirates, alongside Edward Newgate and Charlotte Linlin, and there is also an interesting theory about the Marineford War. The war was fought because of Port Gas D Ace, and Kaido already knew Ace because Ace had attacked his territory in Wano. At the same time, Kaido had a history with Edward Newgate from their days in the Rocks Pirates. So one theory is that Kaido was actually heading toward Marineford because of Whitebeard, possibly wanting to fight him or interfere in the war. Of course, this is only a theory, and the true reason Kaido was heading toward Marineford has never been fully revealed. But considering Kaido's obsession with a legendary death and his history with Whitebeard, this theory is definitely interesting. That's why I believe Kaido deserves the number 8 spot on this list. Where would you rank Kaido? Did you know that Teach has done something no one else in the One Piece world has ever done? Teach is not an ordinary pirate. He was once a member of the Whitebeard Pirates, but later followed his own plan and eventually rose to the level of a Yonko. The most interesting thing is that Teach never sleeps. This suggests that his body is fundamentally different from that of ordinary people. The story has also hinted several times that Marshall D. Teach has an unusual body. But his biggest mystery is that he can use the powers of 2 devil fruits at the same time. First, he obtained the power of the Yami Yami no Mi, and after Whitebeard's death, he also acquired the power of the Gura Gura no Mi. This made Teach the only known person in One Piece capable of using 2 devil fruit powers simultaneously. And this raises a huge question about the supposed rule that eating 2 devil fruits will kill you. Why didn't Teach die? What is so special about his body? The true answer has not been revealed by Oda yet. There is also another interesting detail. Teach's ship is called the Saber of Xebec. This name may be connected to the legendary Rocks D. Xebec. But Teach's most dangerous weapon isn't just his devil fruits. He is an extremely intelligent strategist and tactician. He spent years secretly building his plan, waiting for the right moment, and exploiting his enemy's weaknesses to his advantage. However, I wouldn't put Teach above the strongest characters in a pure one-on-one fight. His biggest advantages are his tricks, his plans, and his unpredictable actions. Considering that we still haven't seen Teach's full power, I believe Marshall D. Teach deserves the number 7 spot on this ranking. Where would you rank Teach? Do you know how dangerous Loki really is? Loki is not an ordinary giant. He is around 67 meters tall, making even regular giants look small next to him. In Elbaf, he became known as the Prince of the Father Slayer, because the entire island believed that Loki had killed his own father, King Harold. However, the truth behind what happened is much more complicated. As for Loki's power, his devil fruit ability is extremely unique. What makes it even more interesting is that Loki possesses a powerful weapon called Ragnir. He can combine the power of his devil fruit with Ragnir. His destructive power is so enormous that he may be capable of destroying an entire island with a single strike. Loki became so dangerous in Elbaf that one of the few people known to have stopped him was Shanks. Even more interestingly, Loki's power was recognized by the Holy Knights. They even invited him to join their ranks. And one of the main reasons I put Loki at number 6 is his history with Shanks. The manga has revealed information suggesting that Shanks stopped Loki in the past, although the full details of what happened between them are still unknown. Considering that we still haven't seen Loki's full power, it's possible that he could rise even higher in the future. His 67-meter tall body, unique devil fruit, Ragnir, devastating power, and terrifying reputation in Elbaf all show that Loki is far more than just an ordinary giant. That's why I believe Loki deserves the number 6 spot on this ranking. Where would you rank Loki? Among all those who wield a sword, Mihawk's name stands above the rest. He holds the official title of the world's strongest swordsman. His sword, Yoru, is one of the 12 supreme grade blades in the world and is also a black blade. Mihawk travels the seas alone without a large crew, yet he has a 3.59 billion berry bounty. This is important because many pirates see their bounties increase because of their crews and the actions they carry out. Mihawk earned this bounty primarily through his own individual strength. When Mihawk was younger, he had famous duels with Shanks. Their battles became known throughout the world. Now Mihawk is one of the main members of Cross Guild. Although Buggy appears to be the organization's leader, Mihawk and Crocodile are among its most dangerous forces. What's even more interesting is the world government's misunderstanding of Cross Guild. They believe that Mihawk, a former member of Roger's crew, came under Buggy's command. But the truth is completely different. Another important detail about Mihawk is that he possesses all 3 types of Haki, yet we still haven't seen him use his Haki to its full potential. In other words, we still don't know the true limits of Mihawk's power. His title as the world's strongest swordsman, Yoru, his legendary duels with Shanks, his 3.59 billion berry bounty earned without a crew, and his Haki that has yet to be fully revealed. All of these things make Mihawk worthy of such a high position on this ranking. That's why Dracula Mihawk takes the number 5 spot on my ranking. How can a pirate who lost one arm remain a Yonko for 6 years and still be such a massive threat to the entire world? Shanks is one of the most mysterious pirates alive. He is officially the son of Garling, and he also has a twin brother named Shamrock. But Shanks's story goes far beyond that. Roger found him together with Buggy. After the God Valley incident, later, Shanks came to be seen as Roger's successor. Even after losing one arm, Shanks has remained a Yonko for 6 years. There is even information suggesting that he was able to stop Loki with just one arm. What's even more interesting is that when Shanks lost his arm, Whitebeard thought Mihawk had taken it from him. But Shanks explained it completely differently. He called his lost arm a bet on the new era. One of Shanks's greatest feats is that he ended the Marineford War with just a few words. The war had been raging without stopping, but once Shanks arrived, no one dared to continue it. But the most terrifying part about Shanks is his connection to the highest powers in the world. He personally met with the Gorosei and spoke to them about a certain pirate. The fact that an ordinary pirate could meet and speak so freely with the highest authority of the world government is a huge mystery. And 25 years later, Shanks told Beckman that it was finally time to claim the One Piece. This leads me to one theory. My theory is that Shanks had already been to Laugh Tale before, but chose not to take the One Piece. He may have already known something about the path leading to Laugh Tale. That's why his actions on Egghead are so interesting. Shanks taking the road. Poneglyph copies from Kid may not have been a coincidence. If Shanks already knew the route to Laugh Tale, then perhaps he has been preparing for the One Piece all this time, and now he has started collecting the poneglyphs. So has the moment Shanks has been waiting for 25 years finally arrived. Because of all these mysteries, his power, his Haki, and his unique connections throughout the world, Shanks takes the number 4 spot on my ranking. But if you think Shanks is powerful, you haven't seen anything yet. Because the next 3 pirates are on a completely different level. And the number 1 pirate might be the one you least expect. 7 wounds, 152 bullets, 46 cannonballs, yet not a single scar on his back. Those numbers alone show what kind of legend Whitebeard truly was. He fought Roger for 3 days. He lived through the era of the Rocks pirates and later became a Yonko. But until the very end of his life, his greatest dream was never the One Piece. It was having a family. Whitebeard accepted Ace as his own son. Even though he didn't know that Ace was Roger's son, it didn't matter to him. At Marineford, despite his old age, terrible health, and countless injuries, he continued fighting until the very end. He never ran from the war. He never turned his back on his enemies. And in the end, Whitebeard died standing on his feet. Even in his final moments, he proved that he was a true legend. Edward Newgate wasn't just a powerful pirate. He was the symbol of an entire era. That's why he takes the number 3 spot on my ranking. The greatest mysteries in the world of One Piece are all connected to one man, Gol D. Roger. He was the Pirate King, the only person in history to reach Laugh Tale and find the One Piece. Roger's bounty was 5,564,800,000 berries. That is the highest known bounty ever given to a pirate. But the most terrifying thing about Roger is that he never ate a devil fruit. He mastered all 3 types of Haki and pushed his strength to the highest level. One of Roger's greatest rivals was Edward Newgate, also known as Whitebeard. The two fought for 3 days, yet neither side could claim a clear victory. When their Haki clashed, their swords didn't even have to touch. The sheer force of their attacks shook the entire area around them. Roger was also capable of using Kamusi, also known as Divine Departure, one of the most devastating Haki techniques. Shanks later demonstrated a similar technique. But Roger's greatest achievement wasn't his strength. He reached Laugh Tale and discovered the truth that had been hidden for 800 years. The Void Century, Joy Boy, the One Piece, and the mystery of the D-Clan. Even after learning all of this, Roger didn't immediately change the world. Instead, he used his own execution to begin the Great Pirate Era. His final words inspired thousands of people to set sail and completely change the course of world history. Roger wasn't just the man who found the One Piece. He was the first pirate to uncover the true history of the world. That's why his 5.5648 billion berry bounty, mastery of all 3 types of Haki, strength without a devil fruit, legendary battle with Whitebeard, and journey to Laugh Tale put him at number 2 on this ranking. But if Roger is number 2, then who could possibly be number 1? And now, we've finally reached the top of the entire ranking. This man didn't just want to change his era. He wanted to change the entire world. He is Rox D. Zebek, the captain of the Rocks Pirates and the man who created the crew. Zebek gathered some of the most dangerous pirates of his era under one flag. His crew included future legends such as Whitebeard, Big Mom, and Kaido. But Zebek's ambitions were completely different from theirs. He wasn't searching for the One Piece. He didn't even want to become the Pirate King. His goal was far more dangerous: to sit on the empty throne and become the ruler of the world. That's why Xebec wasn't just another pirate. He was a direct threat to the world government itself. The God Valley incident showed just how powerful he truly was. To stop Xebec, Gul D. Roger and Monkey D. Garp were forced to join forces. The battle became one of the greatest conflicts in history, especially with monsters like Whitebeard, Big Mom, and Kaido standing behind Xebec. And the most interesting part is that we still don't know whether Xebec had a devil fruit or not. If he reached this level without a devil fruit, just imagine how powerful his Haki and physical strength must have been. Xebec didn't just gather the strongest pirates of his era under one crew. He challenged the entire world. For him, the One Piece wasn't the goal. The world itself was. That's why, in my ranking, Rox D. Xebec takes the #1 spot, because the others wanted to rule the seas, but Xebec wanted to rule the entire world.